Welcome to another recap. A peaceful and magnificent palace in China 4,000 years ago suddenly erupted into chaos. An ambitious warrior named Kunyi attacked the palace with his soldiers, greedy for the Z-blade, a magical weapon of immense power. The palace was protected by a team of warriors wearing golden masks, which granted them incredible powers and the ability to transform into animals. As Kunyi and his soldiers attacked, the masked warriors used their extraordinary powers to fight back. Slowly, Kunyi's soldiers began to lose the battle. Undeterred, Kunyi summoned his magical beast, Vishalkai, a formidable threat to any warrior. The beast attacked the team leader, wounding him severely. Seeing their leader in peril, the other warriors rallied together, using the power of their golden masks to weaken the beast. Watching from a distance, Kunyi realized he could neither win the battle nor obtain the Z-blade. He quietly retreated. After the battle, the warriors gathered around their wounded leader, who, with his last breaths, entrusted his daughter, Kunyi, with the responsibility of protecting the Z-blade. He instructed her to find a worthy Z-warrior to continue their legacy. Kunyi, holding back tears, promised to fulfill her father's wishes. Fast forward to the present, where a mischievous and cunning boy named Charlie lived on the streets, surviving through petty thefts. Despite his actions, there was an innocence in his smile that hid his true nature. Meanwhile, Kunyi, standing beside the king of her kingdom, received a magical key to open a portal through time. The king tasked her with finding a worthy warrior beyond her time. Remembering her father's promise, Kunyi entered the present through the portal. Charlie was near a gold shop when he encountered his uncle's secretary, who reminded him of his past. Charlie's uncle, who had once supported him, now wanted to exploit him for theft. Refusing to comply, Charlie tricked the secretary and fled, engaging in a series of mischievous thefts, chased by the market's people and the police. In the midst of this chaos, Kunyi saw Charlie. Her golden mask began to shine, signaling that Charlie was the chosen warrior. Despite her doubts about a thief protecting the Z-blade, Kunyi decided to help Charlie. As Charlie evaded the police, Kunyi used her mask's power to open a portal, pulling him into another world. Confused and surprised, Charlie found himself in a new realm and was taken to the king, who controlled time and space. Kunyi introduced Charlie to the king, explaining that the mask had chosen him. Charlie, skeptical and frustrated, demanded to know what he would gain from this. The king, smiling, told him that it was not a deal but a responsibility. Feeling out of place, Charlie decided to escape, but it was not easy. The king introduced him to other team members. The first member could transform into mythical creatures like a dragon or a phoenix using his mask's power. The second could shoot fireballs from his hands. As Charlie learned about the team and their powers, he began to understand the gravity of his new role and the legacy he was now a part of. The third member of the team was an extraordinary warrior whose unmatched strength made him unbeatable in combat. The fourth member was Kunyi, who took charge of the team after her father's death. Her aim was extraordinary, and every arrow she shot hit its target with precision. Now, the fifth member was Charlie, chosen by fate, despite his reluctance. The king addressed the team. All of you must defeat Kunyi. If he gets the Z-blade, his power will be unstoppable. This was a major betrayal for Charlie. He had no interest in this situation. Realizing he couldn't return to his timeline without a special portal, he devised a clever plan. He pretended to be part of the team, intending to steal the magical key to open the portal from Kunyi. His plan worked. During dinner, he quietly took the key into his possession. In the next scene, the team was having dinner together in the hall, trying to make Charlie feel like a part of this new world. He observed the other members as they handed over their golden masks to Kunyi, who placed them in a safe place. As the night grew deeper, old secrets were revealed. The team members told Charlie about their king, who had opened a magical portal years ago for the welfare of his subjects. The portal could have solved their problems, but fate had something else in mind. A dangerous man named Kunyi emerged from the portal, with the sole desire to obtain the Jade Blade and conquer the entire kingdom. Charlie listened carefully, but felt disconnected from the fight. His training began the next day. Kunyi tried her best to prepare Charlie for the fight, but his mind was focused on escaping. During training, a strange noise echoed. Everyone became alert. Kunyi had reached the palace gates, accompanied by his powerful and angry sister. Kunyi and the rest of the team got ready immediately, but Charlie was still unprepared. The attack on the palace walls began. Kunyi sent a huge bull to break through the walls. and I tried her best to stop it, but the task was daunting. Chaos ensued. Charlie used his cleverness. He grabbed a red cloth and stood in front of the bull. The bull charged at him, but Charlie used the cloth to redirect its path towards Kunyi. Realizing the bull was charging at him, Kunyi quickly turned it into a small statue with a magical charm. During the battle, Charlie wore his golden mask for the first time. Using its power, he managed to snatch the statue from Kunyi's hand. The villagers cheered, celebrating Charlie's victory. For the first time, Charlie felt genuine praise and acceptance. Despite initially fighting for his own benefit, he started feeling like a part of the team. A member of the team's mother adopted Charlie like a son, allowing him to experience a mother's love for the first time. During dinner, a team member named Juhu confided in Charlie that he could transform into 11 out of the 12 zodiac animals. He had never turned into a dragon because he was afraid of heights and flying. For the first time, Charlie realized that everyone, no matter how powerful, had fears and weaknesses. The next day, Kunyi attacked again, taking advantage of a secret passage to infiltrate the palace with his sister. This time, Kunyi came not only with brute force but also with a cunning strategy. However, Charlie and his team were ready to fight. Kunyi unleashed a terrifying demon that wreaked havoc, causing chaos everywhere. Li and his team immediately rushed to stop the demon while Kunyi headed for his true goal, the Z-Blade. The Z-Blade, hidden inside the palace, was not just a source of power, but also a responsibility to keep out of the wrong hands. When the team discovered Kunyi's real intention, they pursued him. However, Kunyi had another trick up his sleeve. He stole a machine that allowed him to travel between different timelines instead of the Z-Blade. Escaping on his flying tiger, Kunyi fled to the distant mountains, setting a dangerous trap for anyone who followed. The king warned the team about the perilous journey ahead, filled with dangerous jungles and high mountains where bloodthirsty creatures awaited at every turn. Moreover, the powers of their masks would not work in that area. Li stored everyone's masks in a box for safekeeping. On their way, they encountered a small village where people were being terrorized by Kunyi's men, forced to hand over their remaining wealth. The team, filled with anger, decided to fight without the powers of their masks. Charlie, still unfamiliar with battle, was entrusted with protecting the mask box. The team initially defeated Kunyi's men with bravery, but their numbers soon grew overwhelming. Seeing the dire situation, Charlie donned his golden mask and used its power to easily defeat the enemies. The villagers rejoiced, but Li was furious. He scolded Charlie for using the mask, their last hope. Meanwhile, dangerous creatures advanced to attack the team. As King had warned, the team tried to escape quickly, but one of their car's wheels broke. In the chaos, the box containing the golden masks fell into the creatures' hands. With only Charlie's mask left, they realized Kunyi had planned the theft using these creatures. They now faced two major challenges: recovering the masks and reaching Kunyi's hideout. Strong winds and a foggy sky battered the mountains as Li and his team crossed a magical and perilous river of clouds. Amidst the storm and lightning, they spotted their lost companion, Mo, on the other side. However, this moment of relief turned out to be a trap. Kunyi had kidnapped Mo to manipulate their emotions. In their attempt to save Mo, the team fell into Kunyi's trap. Kunyi exploited their weaknesses, questioning Charlie's loyalty and sowing doubt. Kunyi's words began to take effect, shaking the team's faith in Charlie. Desperate to prove himself, Charlie tried to convince them he had changed and wanted to help. No one listened. In anger and frustration, Charlie used the stolen portal key to return to his world, taking a friend from the new world with him. Back home, Charlie's heart was heavy. He threw his golden mask on the sofa and lay down. His uncle, who orchestrated thefts, arrived and mistook the golden mask for real gold. As he tried to take it, Charlie's blue monster friend appeared, terrifying the uncle and making him flee. Charlie's friend urged him not to give up, reminding him of his importance in the other world. Encouraged, Charlie decided to return. Meanwhile, Li and his team were near death, trapped in a cage of fire by Kunyi. As the fire spread, Charlie arrived just in time. Using his skills, he unlocked the cage and freed them. "Forgive me," he pleaded. Seeing his honesty and courage, the team forgave him. But their troubles were far from over. Kunyi's soldiers stood in front of him. Charlie donned his golden mask and began chasing the enemies with his newfound power. He located the places where Kunyi had hidden the other golden masks and returned them to his team members. With their masks restored, The team quickly defeated the enemies. However, this was just another of Kunyi's tricks. Kunyi had used this distraction to plan a heist for the Z-Blade at the palace. Upon realizing this, the team rushed back to the palace. Amidst the dust and fog, Charlie took a deep breath and looked at his friend Chio, with a glimmer of faith in his eyes. "You can do it, Chio," he said. "You don't have to be afraid of heights. You have a power that the world doesn't understand." Amidst the dust and fog, Charlie took a deep breath and looked at his friend Chio, with a glimmer of faith in his eyes. "You can do it, Chio," he said. "You don't have to be afraid of heights. You have a power that the world doesn't understand." Charlie's words filled Chio with renewed energy. She felt the hidden powers within her, and after closing her eyes, she awakened a power from deep within her soul. In moments, she transformed into a flying dragon, the wind rising from the beat of her enormous wings. Charlie and the rest of the team boarded her, and they flew swiftly, crossing mountains and clouds, reaching the palace ahead of time. But the scene at the palace was terrifying. The enormous dragon and monsters sent by Kunyi were wreaking havoc, with fire and smoke everywhere. Screams echoed, and dark shadows loomed in the sky. Upon arriving at the palace, Li and his team activated the powers of their golden masks. The masks began to shine, releasing an immense power that swiftly defeated the monsters and the dragon. However, this was merely the beginning. Kunyi had hidden himself inside the palace and captured the king. He had already obtained the Jade Blade, and as soon as he picked it up, his power surged to unimaginable heights. His voice echoed, "No one can compete with me now." The team tried their best, but all their powers were insufficient against Kunyi. As their courage began to falter, Kunyi attempted to snatch Charlie's golden mask. Acting quickly, Charlie distracted Kunyi and struck him with a powerful punch, causing Kunyi to lose his balance and fall. The Jade Blade slipped from Kunyi's hand, and Charlie seized the opportunity to pick it up. Grasping the blade, Charlie realized it was not just a weapon but a great responsibility. Using the blade's power, he sent Kunyi back to the dark place from which he had come. Once Kunyi was through the portal, all his powers vanished. Peace was restored in the kingdom, the fires were extinguished, and the people began to breathe easy once more. Charlie returned the Jade Blade to the king, who hugged him and said, The king honored Charlie and his team before his subjects. Charlie, who had once been just a part of his world, now embraced this new world as his own. "The people here are now my real family," he said, his eyes filled with contentment. He decided to stay with his new family, as everything in the kingdom, bathed in the golden rays of the sun, was once again at peace. Li, Charlie, and the team stood together, embracing their new beginning. And so, our story ends on a lovely note.